Hello, YouTube. It's Elizabeth, Finding Elizabeth, here for my seventh week post-op VSG update. I had a vertical sleeve gastrectomy on April 14th, 2014 at Kaiser South Bay in Harbor City, California with Dr. Belsberg. Can't believe it's been 7 weeks already, but here we are, Tempus Fugit. So let me start with the numbers. My highest weight and starting weight on this process was 402 pounds. My surgery weight was 360.6 pounds. Last week I was 322 pounds, and this week I am 319 pounds. So that's a loss of 3 pounds since last week. A loss of 41.6 pounds since surgery, and a total loss of 83 pounds. So this week, my weight loss was a little slower than it had been the 2 weeks previous, but I'm sort of okay with that. It was that time of the month for the first time since surgery. And I don't know, those last 2 weeks that were really big were, I don't know if scary is the word I'm looking for, but it was just dropping off so fast. I think I needed this week to kind of catch my head up to how fast that I've been losing weight. So I'm perfectly happy with my 3-pound loss for this week. And the other numbers that I wanted to give off real quickly is I know it's helpful for me to hear the number of calories and protein grams, etc. that people are eating. So I just thought I would add to my weekly updates an average of what my numbers are in those areas. So last week, my average calories were 782. My average protein was 77 grams. Carbs were 50 grams. Fat was 33 grams. Sugar was 18 grams. And then my average amount of water was 47 ounces. And my steps were 4,249. So last week I had said I wanted to bump up the water and the steps. And it doesn't look like I did either one of those. But work in progress. I sort of slacked off on the exercise a little bit, other than walking my dogs, which is about a mile, because I had my 6 week surgical check-in last week, and they released me to go back to full exercise. So I'm going to start working with a personal trainer starting on Wednesday at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that's going to be fun. But anyway, so I knew this was going to be my last week of not a lot of killing myself, so I took it kind of easy. Water, no excuse. I just need to get it in and start earlier. So from a physical perspective and what I'm eating, it's not changed that much. The one thing that has changed is I am hungry pretty much all the time, which kind of sucks. I would have loved to kept that little honeymoon period where I wasn't hungry at all. And of course, it doesn't take hardly anything to fill me up. But if I don't have something like every 2 hours, I mean, it's actually like hurts and makes me kind of nauseous. And today I was gone out of the house and I didn't take anything with me to eat, and I was probably gone like 4 hours. I came home and I ate way too fast, and so for the first time since surgery, actually threw up. So I guess I'm gonna have to start carrying food with me to kind of prevent that. But it would have been nice if the not being hungry lasted a little bit longer. But the good part is it takes like 2 bites to be not hungry anymore. All right, let's see. What else do we want to talk about? NSVs. Because I have so much weight to lose and started at such a high weight, I don't think my NSVs are huge. I mean, overall the biggest one is just I feel so much better. But I know a lot of people complain about having to shop at Lane Bryant. Well, I couldn't shop at Lane Bryant because I was above their sizes at like a 30-32. And a friend had given me some clothes that she had not grown out of, but slimmed out of. And some of those were from Lane Bryant. And when she first gave them to me, which was a little bit before surgery, I wasn't able to get into all of them. But now I officially am able to get into all of them. So if I was having to shop, if I didn't have such wonderful friends who were giving me these clothes, I would be shopping at Lane Bryant, which for me is a non-scale victory. The other thing is I actually have ankles again. I have had cankles and huge swelling for the last couple of years, and I hate it. So I will just sit there and like stare at my ankles because I actually have them again, which is a nice thing. And the other thing, I don't know if this is a non-scale victory, but I have been very, I don't know, I've been very isolated kind of over the last few years, and I haven't like gone and done a lot of things with people, and I really want everything planned out in advance, really because I was uncomfortable about how I looked, how much I weighed. Was whatever we gonna do gonna be, was I gonna be able to do it, the regular stuff. But also a big thing for me is just like planning it all out way in advance and knowing exactly what I'm doing and trying to control the situation. So I had a friend last week who, like, out of the blue asked me to go with her to Chicago. Well, that would have been totally out. I mean, it would have just been an immediate no 6 months ago. I mean, I wouldn't even consider it. The whole thought of flying and walking in the airport and seatbelt extensions and maybe getting a middle seat would have been like, no, there's no way I would do that. So I'm not actually going but it's really a financial choice because I just bought a new car last week, and I really want to start working with a personal trainer. And so it was kind of going to be like either or. I could hold up on the personal trainer, I could go to Chicago. But the mere thought that I considered it, I mean, seriously considered it, I think that's a huge NSV for me because that's not something that I would have done 6 months ago. Let's see. One of the other things that I wanted to I always forget to do this. First, I want to thank everybody who's watching my videos and who's commenting. I just think this community is so incredible. Because I got a little late start, I wasn't watching videos a lot before I had surgery. I didn't really start watching them until the week that I was home recovering. I have all these videos to catch up on, and so I probably spend, at least an hour watching videos every day, and that keeps me so connected to what's working for people, to a group of people who are going through the same things that I am, that I think that's really, really crucial to my ability to kind of stay on track. I mean, it's really a wonderful support system, and I'm so glad it's here, and I just want to thank everybody who has watched and subscribed and commented. I really, really, really appreciate it. One of the things I want to do is kind of comment on a couple of videos that I've seen this week that I think were really good and would recommend that you go see if you haven't already. And keep in mind that some of these are kind of old because I'm getting caught up. But there are 3 that I want to mention today, and I'll put the actual links to the videos below. One is from Molly Sleeved, and it's called The Golden Rules of Weight Loss Surgery. And what she's saying are things that I think most all of us know, but the way she says it, it's like, okay, here's the 4 things you need to do to be successful with this. And I thought that was really that she had a really good and clear way of doing that. So I think you guys should check that out if you're new to the process or thinking about it. The second one I wanted to highlight was My Big Adventure. She just had her surgery in Mexico, and she did a video last night kind of explaining the whole process. So this would be really helpful for anybody who's considering surgery and looking at Mexico as an option. But it was also, I found it really helpful because even before weight loss surgery, I had been thinking about going there for some dental work, and now maybe after I would be thinking about going there for some plastic surgery possibly. And her video made me feel so much more comfortable about the idea. So I think that's a good one for people to watch as well. And the other one is SherBear. She had a video this week. I think it was probably her 6-week update. I think we're right around the same period of time, maybe 7th week update. And the thing that she said a couple things in that video that I thought were really interesting. And actually I have 4. Sorry, I forgot one. She said some things that were interesting, which were, the idea that as we get started in this process, we may be thinking about the fact that a lot of us have held off a very long time in having this surgery and kind of regretting that time. And I truly believe, as she does, that everything happens at the time that it's supposed to be. I know if I would have had this surgery 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have been ready for it, and I would have screwed it up. And she also talked about the idea of realizing that just sort of it being overwhelming when you have so much weight to lose, the idea of having surgery or starting anything that's going to improve your health. And she talked about just doing one thing a day that's going to move you towards your goal. And that kind of resonated with me on those days that I'm kind of not wanting even to get up and walk the dogs. It was just a good video and resonated. with me quite a bit, so I would say check that out. The other one that I forgot about was TK Sleever did a cooking video where she made shrimp bisque that you could practically smell it through by watching the video. It sounded so good, so you also might want to check that out. In terms of, I want to touch a little bit every week on, what's going on emotionally with me as well. This week has been the first week where I've been tempted to just eat what was here in the house. I have a teenage son, and this weekend he'll be 18 in a couple weeks and is getting ready to fly the coop in a couple of months. And he was gone this weekend with friends, and he's gone a lot. He travels a lot. He's an adventurer. He goes off on his own a lot, and it usually never bothers me, or I don't even really notice it so much. I more think of it as like, oh, I have a weekend where I only have to worry about myself. How nice. But this weekend, and I think it was because it's getting closer to the time that he's really going to go for good, I don't know, I just felt really weird about it, and I found myself going and looking in the refrigerator and seeing what was there, and looking in the cupboard and seeing what was there. And I didn't eat anything, which was good, but it was a little scary to me, that idea. I've always done a lot of my eating alone. Most of the people who know me would say, I don't know how you gain weight, because it never seems like you really eat much. But I've always done all my eating, by myself, or when people have gone to sleep or whatever, or in the car, or just someplace where I'm off to myself. And I've sort of gotten a little nervous about what's going to happen when he goes in terms of that. As I mentioned before, I'm in therapy. I've had a weird relationship with therapy since I had surgery. I've seen my therapist for like 5 years, and the last few weeks that I've been back since I've been in therapy, I've been really uncomfortable in there, which is, kind of weird. I mean, it's kind of feeling like I was when I was first there, and I think part of that is about the fact that I don't really know who Elizabeth is going to be when she loses this weight. Hence the title of my YouTube channel, Finding Elizabeth. I don't know who that person is. I've been so overweight for so long, and when I wasn't, I thought I was, and I also, at that time in my life, was so much more concerned with being who everybody else thought I should be, other than really knowing who I was. And I think when I get in therapy, I really start to get fearful about that, and fearful that she's going to see that fear in me or something. I don't know. Anyway, lots to work out. Lots to work out in therapy. But I'm just curious if other people are feeling that way, even this early on. I mean, I'm, at a weight that many people are below when they're starting this journey now. But I have lost, a considerable amount, 80 pounds in, 5 months or 6 months, which is a lot. And I'm just starting to wonder and worry about that. Who am I without this identity? And who am I without my identity as a mom? Because that's what I've been for 18 years, and that's been a primary and driving force for me. But anyway, something to think about. If you have any comments on that, let me know. I'd love to hear it. And the other thing is for many, many, many years, I was just surviving, not thriving. And now I want to thrive, and I want you to thrive too. So that's what I will wish you for this week, is that you have a week where you are thriving in your life, in your weight loss, in your physical fitness. Have a great week, you guys. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.